Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2 Curse of the Vampire Coast, where the Dark Elves have been scattered to the winds. We are so close to being on the final leg of our journey. Unfortunately, before we get on to the final leg of our journey, we have one more little thing that needs to be dealt with. So, let's get to dealing with it, shall we? Celestra needs to make it out into the sea as quickly as possible. She probably will be able to handle chaos stacks pretty much by herself, right?
Admiral of the fleet.
But Peggy can't quite make it to attack this guy in normal movement mode. What I can do...
Asinine mortal.
Let's see, his army's not really that scary. What we can do here is hard march over to him as close as possible. I think we have done. And then engage him with the city garrison.
Get it done.
Interesting, he didn't immediately flee. I was expecting immediate fleeing. Okay, well yeah, let's just do this then. You know, we could auto-resolve. I'm not sure what the result of that would be. Thing is, we fought pretty much this battle a bunch of times. I'm just gonna auto-resolve it. Yeah, that's... I mean, this is kind of a weird outcome. A lot more of the city garrison should be dead, but yeah, we would definitely win. Because, right, even the worst case scenario here is they managed to fall upon the city garrison because the city garrison's a little bit light on weapons, and it takes them long enough to do that Peggy Rains is able to basically roll in and start a second battle. The Hell Cannons wouldn't be a big deal because we have flyers, although they would definitely get more kills than that. But on the whole, that's about right. And after 1 or 2 turns of regeneration, that result is indistinguishable from the result we would have gotten if we had just done it manually. Then I'm going to sail her up north, and we're going to start threatening these dudes from behind. I hope nobody minds if I'm auto-resolving some things that I might have manually resolved at an earlier stage of the campaign. Fact is, there's a lot of games still coming out. We got places to be. I'm enjoying the series again, much more than I was certainly at the during the horrible Lustrian jungle phase. But we still do have other stuff we'd like to play eventually. Alright, so these two are all torn up. Maybe the right thing to do is just finish them very quickly. And then, like, sail down toward Highvald Blood Drencher and try to grab him with the other fleet. Yeah, I don't know where this guy's going, but he's not really posing a huge threat to us by himself. So they have no ability to do anything here. We get to auto-resolve a real easy victory because they're both in full sail mode. And then I can, in fact, even without going into full sail, make it into reinforcement range here, which allows Billy Doo open up on this guy. Now this guy's going to run.
Wipe them out.
Or he's not going to run in... Wow, what just... Very confident. I'll give him that. He's extremely confident. This would have been... This is the easiest battle that we have faced this particular episode. Will Amstrel losing Sirens. Listen, a Siren will die to basically anything. It's almost impossible to keep them alive.
All bones on deck. The sea brings death.
Well, I think I'm just going to keep pushing my luck here. This guy's full sail, and he can't flee.
Yes, master.
I should probably spend my level up points, though. Just go ahead and get some skills.
Admiral. Fight them, thrall crew.
Right, this is remarkably easy. There are those Khemri still to deal with. We'll get to them. Alright, so we're able to burn through the Chaos fleets down here pretty quickly, which is nice.
Standing by.
He can't actually make it back to a settlement. I don't really want to be in attack range of the Khemri. It looks like the reef is going to buy us the safety we need. I'm going to have Billy Doo get up on land and run alongside these Chaos armies rather than getting in the water. I'm a little worried he'd get grabbed in the water. And then we do have a beacon here. Sorry, a raised Deadpool increaser, a great battle sight. Turns out I am not close enough to it. Alright, we'll just recruit from the crappy pool. Yeah, I didn't anticipate we were going to have a huge problem with the Chaos Armies down here. I think, at this point, the Chaos Armies are mostly just a very small speed bump. Does Two Toes Adley have to stay up here?
Admiral of the fleet.
Burke Black is headed in the direction of the rebellion.
Standing by.
No, Two Toes Adley is trying to leave, right? We have recruitment structures in this... we have a recruitment structure that I don't actually want to have.
Admiral.
And we didn't get enough kills in any of our battles to set up a battle site marker. I guess I'll just do her recruiting some other time.
Trampling.
I want you to get in the water here.
Time.
Because that rebellion's not going to attack this turn, not with the walls there. Robert Hodgson needs to get himself some good stuff out of the recruitment pool, because it is about time to fight some vampires. And somehow we made so many enemies. I just can't imagine what I would have done to invoke all this wrath. Need 2 more. What does he actually have? So, like, flying units are a little bit less good against the vampires than they are against Chaos. The vampires, similar to Chaos, have basically no ability to hire ranged units, but they have their own flyers. So I think deck droppers are probably not a great move. Might just grab, like, those guys. This army should be capable of handling that.
March, you dead curs!
Into Misnar, where we are 1 turn away from having proper walls. Well, hopefully this whole extra army will buy us some time on that front. Sure, let's go ahead and do the mist now, I guess. I don't know that it's actually necessary. I don't know how much it's going to make any difference at all. Alright, we have a lot of armies running around at a very high speed here. Just hauling ass all over the old world and... or the new world, sorry, the new world. And murdering chaos dudes, which I am very excited about.
On deck.
I'm almost as excited about the speed as I am about the murder itself. Okay, where exactly is the treasure she's headed toward? There's a volcano up here somewhere. That looks like probably our guy. You are actually too far north. I should have gone under Albion. Actually, there's a couple of volcanoes up here. I'm pretty sure I picked the right one there.
Captain.
It's like right in the center of the area.
Course plotted.
Alright, we still got incoming Wood Elves. We still got incoming vampires. We still have incoming Khemri. And there's still Chaos dudes marauding around our territory. But to be perfectly honest with you, I am feeling like very secure. I think we have this in hand. Alright, let's just make sure we're getting public order under control in all of the places. It looks like we're doing an okay job of that. I guess if we're trying to upgrade any part of this settlement to improve, create walls, our Cauldra is the most important. None of them are terribly important. And then we can just build like some money structures in some places, because we definitely have a lot of open slots now. Maybe not quite as many as I thought. Over here in Spite Reach, we're doing what we can. Probably don't need another Dead Pirates Totems. This one's doing the job.
Stormy.
In Dargoth, we need to do some resettling before we're going to have real control. I suppose that's kind of an immediate problem. This will help a little bit. We can also just stop taxing it. I guess it's a pretty big hit to our cash, but it would be cool if this didn't rebel until we were in position to control it. Alright, and with that... looks like Durthu's just able to make Angariel this turn if he stays in full sail mode, so I don't think he'll be able to attack. Hopefully this will be the last time we have to put up with this nonsense. So I don't know what's more story appropriate here. To be clear, I still think that Couronne makes the most sense to take from a mechanical perspective as our fourth major city, since we have a real easy time getting 3 clustered together. But it has been pointed out to me that burning down the Oak of Ages would certainly be appropriate, given all the trouble the Wood Elves have given us, really for no reason. We never posed any kind of threat to them until they made us. But also, it would be very appropriate to take Khemri, right? Because the Khemri have been, if anything, a more persistent thorn in our side. I don't think the Khemri have ever made anywhere near as much of a problem for us. You know, they try, they're just bad at it. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Let's get the 3 that clustered together that we know we're going to take, and then we'll figure it out after that. Maybe we take Khemri, but we burn down the Oak of Ages. That would seem to be appropriate, I think. Please tell me the vampire counts are not also mounting an expedition. I just don't have the time or attention to devote to all this nonsense. So all the Dark Elf armies are raiding us. I believe while they're in raiding mode, they do not suffer any attrition. So this is their way around the fact that they have no home territory. There's no logistical supply line extant to bring them stuff. They're just going to raid, and as long as they never stop raiding, they will never die to attrition. We're going to leave 1 army up there for the purpose of putting down rebellions and stuff. That army is just going to have to ride around and murder all those guys. Okay, this should be a real simple auto-resolve, but I'm concerned that with the balance of power bar looking like this, I'm concerned that it will make me lose if we auto-resolve it. So I suppose let's go ahead and do it manually. Yeah, this really doesn't look that dangerous. I don't know why the balance of power bar is so far in their favor. They have 4 units of cavalry, Hex Wraiths. They have some fast stuff. This is definitely one of the more dangerous invader armies that we've had to face, but we have an army and 3 quarters. And if their cavalry charges don't work, they really still don't have a lot of ways to deal damage to us. I guess they have a lot of zombies and skeletons. Yeah, there's a lot of figures in each of these units. Maybe the plan is just throw so many bodies at us that we can't shoot them all. Honestly, that might work. We're not great shots. Okay, can we do better than 2 maybe? Nope. Well, fortunately, the difference between 2 and 0 is very, very small. Where are my reinforcements? Oh, I get to start with everything on the table, right. Okay, well that's nice. Move these guys over here. They only have 1 unit of actual flyers, and their lord is not mounted on a flying mount. The moment we get rid of these Vargheists, the deck droppers are completely unstoppable. They have nothing that can damage them. That's pretty powerful. I mean, I think we're just going to do the strategy that keeps working, right? Play the hits that made us famous. Now they attacked us here, so they are required to come over here and do something. Not really sure what I want to do with the bloated corpse. I think we're going to keep it off to the side. I'm worried that if I try to run it forward, a corpse cart or a Vargulf is going to run into it and make it do nothing. Then again, I wonder if we could get the Vargheist to go after it. Just have it be the first thing forward. See if their most mobile units will try to come over and have at it. Because that would be really convenient for us. Sort of a 2 birds with 1 stone kind of situation there. Apparently I'm not allowed to place people on top of this building. Ridiculous. I mean, we really just have a lot of melee. And honestly, only sort of matters where they are. So much of this this melee force is just here to kind of eventually get in the way, sort of. They're really, really not important. Sirens could be Vanguard deployed, but like there's nowhere good to do that, so... And we have our fleet captain will hang out here. And our actual captain who will... And here, the fleet captain, I don't know. It's just going to shoot at people. Doesn't really have a role. Even more pole arms, although the side move is not... Actually, I'm going to put these pole arms over here in case they try to go after the artillery. Side flank is not even really possible thanks to these huge buildings. You guys are in reserve. You guys need to not be in front until those flyers are done for. Alright, I'm going to run in the general direction of the Vargeist and see if we can get them to come down and fight me. See, they're kind of... Well, no, I was going to say they're kind of running out ahead, but no, they are, in fact, backing up, if anything. Come on. Be easy pickings for you. You know you want to come down here and get this guy. I mean, I guess I would take a hit on their cavalry. It's not going to be totally ideal, but... Let's see if they're at all willing to... Yeah, we might kill some cavalry here. Looks like that's what's happening. Just run into it. Okay, they ran a lot of their dudes on top of us at the same time there. And they did it into the rifle lines. So that's the end of that unit. Yeah, you know what? Not bad. Fine time to start shooting. So our lives get so much easier once those guys are dead. Looks like it's not going to take very long at all. We just need another good volley or two. Got to keep the depth guard from receiving the charge directly. I don't think we were actually successful there. Somehow these guys are still not dead. I guess this is a fine time to pop our reload boost. Okay, so the Vargeists are dead, and our flyers are now completely invulnerable. They are pistol flyers. They're not going to be super good against heavily armored units, but I'm wondering if I might want to have them shoot into the flank of these knights anyway, just to screw with their morale. Now, let's have them start in on the Vargulfs. That's going to be important. You three. Trying to work on those on that Vargulf. You three can get him real fast. And you three can get that one, hopefully. You probably don't want to go anywhere. Probably, I suppose, cast some spells and try to keep some guys alive. He doesn't have the overcast available. That's a shame. And then I guess we should probably also put everybody in guard mode. I mean, it's unlikely that these things will run, right? Probably what will happen is they will just collapse. Let's try to focus a little bit more on the Grave Guard. Not really afraid of anything over here. Right, if the cavalry come in, bombers plus pole arms, a pretty good solution to that problem. There goes that very heavily focused rifle fire. Man, monsters are bad against rifles. I think that guy's going to make it into the pack at least. The others were not so lucky. It turns out he's not really going to get anything done over there.
As they die, a path on my way.
Cowardice! Let's see if we can cut him off. Looks like our reserve troops are not really going to be necessary over here.
Gunnery mob undead.
Hey, no cutoff necessary. They just ran right at us. Let's have the Sirens charge up here. Our Lord has gotten himself in a little bit of trouble. He decided, apparently, that that was his job, to run forward and fight those guys.
One, consider it done.
And this unit of Blood Knights ran all the way around our line to attack some pistols that I wasn't microing. Doesn't seem like a great use of their time. And I think they're really going to regret it in a second here. Yeah, no kidding, victory is in our grasp. The enemy forgot to bring any, like, fighting units.
Your orders.
I don't know how they thought they were going to get anything accomplished here. Also, apparently, being a ghost does not protect you from being blown up with bombs. Look at the knockback. You would think, with the lack of corporeal form and everything, there wouldn't be a lot of physics effects from the explosion. I think those horses are under control. You guys could probably focus up over here. Oh, my lord is... yeah, it's getting there. My biggest concern here is that it seems like their lord is doing alright. The battle would go down a lot faster if he were dead. Hey, you guys, you know how you had orders to attack those Blood Knights? What happened there? Did you forget? They absolutely forgot. Oh no, it was these guys who had orders to attack these Blood Knights. Oh, these guys, oh, these are the Blood Knights from over here. Okay, that problem's resolved. Looks to me like we're about to see a, yep, huge army morale break. If you can't keep some of these guys alive, probably help if we were not firing artillery directly into them. You know what, you guys? We got it. It's under control now. You can stop. Their lord is openly fleeing. Where are my bats? Hey, bats. Do something about that.
Move, you dogs! Of course!
Go get him. Vampire Lord on Vampire Lord action. Don't you die before I hit you, you coward. He's totally going to. Also, he's summoning zombies. What's that going to do? Where did he even go? Did he evaporate? I think he evaporated. Too much rifle fire. Yeah, all of their ethereal units just kind of got worn down over time. There's a big part of the value of Depth Guard is that they last forever. The enemy, you can't wear Depth Guard down, which is how a lot of the Ghost units fight. Don't deal a ton of damage, but don't ever take damage. Not a real strategy against the Depth Guard, who will just heal forever. I don't know, man. This buff doesn't necessarily seem necessary. These are the only units still on the battlefield. Remarkably, still at full leadership, despite the fact that their entire army is dead. Hey, you guys, you want to come over here and... nah, it's not gonna... they're not gonna arrive in time. Put the Depth Guard, get some kills here, pad their stats. They get to jump around and get cool screenshots. Close battle. It's true, he did kill nearly 10% of my my army here. I guess the garrison forces took it a little rougher. All the bad units were part of the garrison force. Yeah, I will never quite know what is going on in the AI's weird little brain with that balance of power bar. So we could just disband Robert Hodgson's army now, probably. Although I guess the smart thing to do would be to have them run over toward the northern gate and try to flank around behind Durthu. And then once Durthu is done, Robert Hodgson and O'Bones MacDonald can just sail over toward the cluster of important cities, which is an important and auspicious name for that group of cities. Kind of thing you'd read in a fantasy novel. You know, the elves are having a council and they're like, hey, those are the important cities, right? My, they're so important. It's a good thing we called them that, so none of us will forget how important they are. That's just world building right there. Yeah, we probably have to run over and make sure nothing crazy happens over here. But even with that detour, I think probably these two armies are going to be the first ones to arrive at the cluster of important cities. And I add a little music sting there. Probably quite a bit before Silostra is able to get there. My hope is that she's going to be able to just sort of ride straight through all the Chaos dudes without having to stop. And there's pretty good odds that'll work out. That crab has a lot of mass, you know? Oh, interesting. They turned around, they just want to fight O'Bones MacDonald straight up. Okay, well... So they have Wild Riders, they have quite a few of them. Are these the ones with the significant physical resistance? Okay. Oh, the Sisters of the Thorn are the ones that I was thinking of, right? So they've got a lot of significant physical resistance. Quite a bit of ranged as well. Oh no, these are not sword and bow guys. These are just sword guys. So not really that much ranged. Okay. Well, O'Bones MacDonald cannot flee, so I suppose we're fighting. He will not flee, because he literally can't. But even if he could, maybe he wouldn't. I don't know, honestly. Yeah, they brought enough physical resistant cavalry that they could pose a real threat. And O'Bones MacDonald's army is pretty heavily ranged, which is going to turn out to be a good thing if there's enough guns, and a bad thing if there are slightly too few. Terrain is going to play a really important part here, and I have to say I'm not happy with what looks like an awful lot of ridges and stuff. Yeah, actually this terrain is horrible. Well, good news is they're attacking us. So I guess what I'm saying is we're going to be all the way in the corner. Thank you. I hate the fact that that it's so finicky. Yeah, this is terrible. We have no range here. But, like, if I do this, it should just try to put those units in the zone in a way that works, right? It shouldn't be like, oh, I don't know, man. The way you clicked your mouse, one guy is outside of this box. I don't think we can do that. What if we go a little, like, straighter? Now, the problem is we need to be able to be further back, right? Further from the trees. How about over here? Can we do... I know, we have the same problem here. There's trees right on top of us. But I guess that's where the Sirens get to live. How are you not... Okay. There we go. One-Gull Haunter sits in reserve. Everybody else just kind of everywhere. So I'm expecting the Necrofex Colossus to play a pretty big part here. Yeah, this sucks. This is a terrible, terrible, terrible terrain for us. We really, really do not have a lot of ground units. Fortunately, O'Bones MacDonald is practiced in the art of getting crabs. In pretty much every way you could possibly take that. I would prefer to focus on their ranged. Can I see them? Nope, of course not. Well then, I guess we're holding our cannon abilities. Not really a hidden unit. Get out there and block You can fight an arbitrary number of these dudes, right? Okay. The ranged have revealed themselves. Get that off of my screen. There we go. Probably need the mortars to refocus a little bit. Actually, hold on. I can swap those targets so we won't have to turn. I guess, do we just have the sirens charge? My concern here is that they're gonna end up in melee with the enemy's melee, not really the enemy's ranged, right? We could have them try to fall back instead. Maybe that's a smart thing to do. I'm actually gonna summon these crabs over this way. We're gonna figure this out. And we need somebody in the middle, right? Yeah, I'm gonna charge with them. If they all die, so be it. We can re-recruit very quickly. Weren't those guys firing? Why are they moving now? Oh my god, they're really good at knowing where all the cannon fire is going to land. Seems like as good a time as any to pop all the things. He's doing some okay work there. His arms are big enough to just pick a horse up, so makes sense that he would be. What? No, the crabs are... Hold on a second. Did it really... Like, the crabs are already summoned. That's the crabs. That big ball of water there is the crabs. Come on, guys. Successfully disengage. Okay, it looks like their cavalry mostly turned around. Alright, shoot them. It's going pretty well. Do not run into melee. Hey. Okay, they want to run into melee because they hate being alive. Alright. You are going to have to focus up on Durthu a little bit. We're going to need to engage in a little bit of, so I probably need to throw a grenade over here. To engage in a little bit of blocking. So he, unfortunately, is not going to be able to get over there to deal with that. Yeah, we're just real short-handed. These guys are broken for now. Let's have you focus on them specifically. You need to get your ass over here. And you guys... probably need to ride out and catch them, right? We're gonna end up with a lot of dudes all up in our melee. Melee? All up in our ranged. All up meleeing our ranged. Come on, try to fall back. It's just buy time. He's coming, he's coming. Seems like the grenade might have done some pretty good damage. There, it kind of just missed. Are you doing the thing I told you to do? No. It's completely disregarding my orders. There. Alright, I mean, they're getting something done. It's like Durthu was actually taking some pretty significant damage, I imagine mostly from the cannon. Okay, he's gonna need that. See, that time issuing an order did not break the crab summon. Weird. Weird how arbitrary the rules for that seem to be. I think our man here is in fact going to die. This is turning out to be a little bit worse than I thought. I kind of thought we were going to be able to make landfall, you know. I'm surprised by the fact that Durthu turned around. I'm even more surprised by the fact that he was able to reach us, which I do not think he should have been able to do. I'm debating a Vangeist's Revenge here. A bunch of guys who are fairly grouped up. Do it like there. That'll probably work. You're gonna have to go into melee mode and wade in here a little bit, buddy. Okay, I was trying to get a little bit of spread into the riders over here. Didn't exactly work out. Crabs that I sent over there to fight have fallen, unfortunately. And now their dudes are all up in our stuff here. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna lose the battle. Telling you, man, reasonable cavalry. The answer to all of their problems. You guys gotta turn and fight tree men. God, I love watching Necrofex Colossi fight in melee. It's so good. Come on, finish them off. Nope, a tree man got near one of them, so they must all immediately stop firing. Take this, everyone, including myself. Okay. So, we lose the battle. The silver lining here is that we really busted this army up pretty badly, and we drew them away from the shore while doing so. So, they don't really pose much of a threat to Ulthuan anymore. I wonder if he might even just go home. Thought you guys might want to shoot your guns. Oh, you know what? The terrain is kind of bad. There's a slight slope here. And they can't all actually see the enemy. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Those guys have vision. Well, let's just do as much damage as we can here on our way out. One of the Wild Riders is near one of the guys in this unit, so even though they're attacking that other unit, I am expecting that we will refuse to fire and instead will charge into melee. Oh, managed to actually drive them off. Maybe. They're running out for a cycle. They're going to charge us again. They're not actually broken. There we go. That's pretty good, though. Maybe you don't need to broke them if you just kill them to a man. Okay, well, they caught me off guard with their extremely long movement range, but I think we probably have made it so that they can't actually pursue their attack anymore. That is a shame, though. That's a lot of high veterancy units that died there. And it does reduce the amount of pressure that we're going to be able to put on our cluster of important cities. What, at this point, we are calling the Koik. In the next, 5 turns. We're going to have to wait a little bit longer for some of the armies from the north. And once we clean up the chaos problems around the Star Tower, we only really need to leave one of those armies in defensive position. We could send the other one over there as well. So Robert Hodgson and whoever looks stronger from down south. Silostra will be on her way as backup. I mean, once Silostra arrives, they're probably completely screwed. But see, stuff like this this constant fighting Durthu, is what I'm not. This is the stuff I'm not really enjoying about the campaign. Like, just the constant terrible army prodding, looking for an opening thing that has been happening to us for well over 150 turns now. If they posed a threat, if it were harder, it would be more interesting. If they posed any kind of threat to our ability to maintain our border, or like if it was at all reasonable that we might lose something to them in a way that we might actually stay lost for a while, if it seemed like they had any chance at all to hold something, start getting a foothold, and then, you know, building their own armies out of it. But it's always just like 1 or 2 armies, and it's just enough that I need to have guys nearby, but never enough that there's any kind of long-term threat.
My skills increase.
Alright, let's get all of these notifications over with. Charge bonus up for everybody. That sucks for us, actually. We don't really have a lot of units that benefit from charge bonus.
I lost a dear fan.
Can she... Really? It's not possible for me to get a little closer. You know what? She can just ride over here. It looks like I can just grab these guys right now. I don't need to get on land if I just kill these dudes. Okay. Completely trivial. I agree. No way should I have taken that much damage. That's alright. Her army heals quickly. Case in point. So I probably ought to go up on land and deal with all this nonsense. I don't necessarily want to be in range for him to run over to. I want to, well... His army's pretty messed up, actually. But I'll have to fight both the stacks at the same time. Yeah, we'll just, like, run up to here. She has so much movement. She'll catch up next time no matter what. So, am I in range of the city? Yeah. No reason not to be, really, right?
Admiral of the fleet.
Okay, so Peggy Rains... Hold on, let's deal with this first. You get Root Marcher, you get to run these guys down. Wow, really? That's quite a retreat there. Into Tor Corwali's garrison. We lost 3 people in that battle. That seems about right. So we don't actually need him to respond to Dirthu anymore. I think he just heads down the coast. Readies himself for the attack. I'm not sure Peggy's going to be necessary over here. I'm thinking maybe Peggy heads back for the attack as well. I guess the faster I wrap this stuff up, the faster we get to we get to bring Silostra down. Let's go ahead and get in position to fight Garrulus. Alright, you are going to go north and play cleanup. Ronnie Jackson might be the army that's staying behind. Mostly what I'm worried about here, obviously, is not the money that we're losing. It's more the public order effect that this raiding has. Because I really would love to get ourselves to the point where we do not have to worry about rebellions as quickly as possible. Mark Black is going to put this rebellion down and then head over. Will Amstrel down south, not quite in position to take on King Sahut. Just get back into the Star Tower, I guess.
What is your demand?
So Will Amstrel and Billy Dew. Billy Dew's probably the one who stays home. Will Amstrel's probably going to go to the west, which means, or go to the east, which means I am fine with him taking over these good, powerful units. And then we'll just grab him some more crabs. We probably have enough ranged in this army already. Yep, so he's ready to deal with that. Over here we have these guys presumably going to Poxmarsh because it doesn't have walls.
Yes, master. Move or get the lash.
I think he's probably got it under control.
Reporting.
Just get up here and get ready to perform lots of wound actions on them. Alright, she's already very good at that. Uto's Adley is probably headed toward Blacklight, right? Yeah, I think we can probably limit their damage, maybe even to just what they've already done. What am I looking for here? Plateau, right? The highlands beyond the plateau, close to the Mount of Spiders. Well, highlands beyond the plateau. I mean, that's not really a plateau.
Your orders.
I don't want to go too far away from Mount Arachnos.
Onwards.
Let's try here.
Thin out the cattle.
Nope. Thin out the cattle, she says, which is... it doesn't seem relevant to the current situation at all. Kind of seems like she's just talking to hear herself talk a little bit. Imminent rebellion in the Chill Road. Well, that's easily enough dealt with. Let's run maybe one more one of our turns, and then one more cycle of enemy turns after that. We can easily put away this rebellion this turn, and then honestly, Burke Black probably doesn't even turn around. We'll probably just let the other armies deal with that other rebellion. Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I want to take Khemri as the end of the campaign. The Wood Elves are being annoying, but not in a way that's unexpected. You know, they're Wood Elves. It's just sort of how things are. But, what's his face? Cetra has gone out of his way to just be a huge pain in the ass in a way that didn't have to happen. Look at this. The only friends we got in the world are Khemri. Khemri should love us. But Cetra has shown himself to be ornery, obstinate even. And, in general, his manners have been very poor. Every time I go over there to talk to him, he's screaming at me. He makes me listen to his list of titles, which is like 8 minutes long. He has to be taught. He has to be taught a lesson. And by taught a lesson, I mean ground into dust that is then kept in a jar. I don't know what kind of lesson that is. But that's the one we're going to teach. Maybe we'll scatter the jar over the ocean. Hey, Bretonia, you may want to ride out and fight some Wood Elves or something? Nope. They just want to sail a whole stack right into Collect Suneater and get devoured. I can't believe they lost that. That's very embarrassing for them. Yeah, the Wood Elves are just going to go home now. Turns out O'Bones McDonald did defeat them after all. It's like, imagine banging your head against the same problem over and over and over again, and thinking that it's worth doing. Okay, Vincent Goodeye here. We probably want to, even though this battle's not interesting at all, we probably want to do this manually because Hell Cannons. Do what damage we can. So they've had plenty of time to build siege towers at this point. I really think it's possible, though, that this is the last settlement we ever lose to Chaos. We are upon them now. And, with any luck, we will not see another massive horde of Chaos ships spawn out of completely nowhere before the end of the campaign. So 4 Hell Cannons. There's no way we get rid of 4 Hell Cannon crews. I'll be happy if we get half of them. Okay. And see, this is kind of tedious. There's no reason I should have to do this. It should not be beneficial to me to do this manually. But the way this is working out, Okay, like, this doesn't make any sense. Why would you guys be here?
Sea prey.
Not have rifles, just facing backward for no reason. It also really sucks that I can't assign units to places where other units already exist, just to, like, swap their positions or anything. Hey. There we go. I like the pole arms right there on the wall. Having some more pole arms over here. You guys should probably be there. And then I'm gonna put this deckhand mob on the wall here, just to take control of that tower. The mortar should not be all the way in the back in a position where it can't ever fire. And I mean, like, obviously, we're gonna get roughed up something fierce here. Don't even bother with the siege towers. You don't have the damage necessary to destroy them. That's fine. You can do that. Just shoot at the Chaos Warriors? Like... This is not about destroying the ram. It's about destroying those guys pushing the ram as thoroughly as possible. We need to be real careful with our bats until the dragon's down. When it's enduring an awful lot of tower fire, some of which is actually hitting. Definitely hyper-focus artillery on their artillery. Those guys are going to get through. There's nothing we can do about that. I'm surprised at how much of a coward their dragon is. You guys have range on him? At least see where they're... Yeah, where on earth does your zone end? Why is the ground always the same color as... Can they hit him from there? No, they're not really. Just some of them are shooting at him. Some of them are just shooting the Chaos Warriors. Not really sure what's up with that. Okay, this is probably the right way to handle this. Right here he comes. Let's try to get our flyers out here to a position where they can do some harm now. We're getting some good damage on with the mortars, but I don't think they'll get the job done. Oh, hey, that's a part of the wall. Well, that's a problem. This unit of depth guard just kind of get in and block the breach. Alright, we've done some good damage here. Yeah, I think the pole arm should be able to hold that pretty easily. Alright, just inside their area here. Hopefully my bats won't actually catch any mortar fire. Over there and do some damage. Looks like they're actually not even interested in attempting to battering ram down the gates, which I really appreciate. This crew's not really getting anything done here anymore, so let's pull them down and try to get them in position to fire at the enemies who are coming through the barrier here. Let's see if we can get a really good explosion going. Oh, my gates on this side were destroyed by something else. Okay, just some chaos spawn. You know, some good old everyday chaos spawn. This guard should probably not actually be up on the wall. Alright, I think we're going to get a pretty good explosion. Oh, look at the cowardice. Oh, they realize this guy is here. I want to try to thin out their formation a little bit. Okay, now run forward and have at them. Enemy lord is wounded. No big surprise there. And it looks like we are actually going to get all four. They did not attempt to move out of our siege unit range, which making this remarkably easy. And in fact, there was nothing else for us to shoot at for a while with a lot of the towers and guns either. That's pretty great for us. That went alright. I guess you guys can just get down here. We're actually doing, like, a lot better than I thought we would. On this side, and just fire down into them. Yeah, there goes the artillery, but that's okay. Problem is pretty much solved already. I don't know if they're actually shooting. Victory is within our grasp. I don't know, man. I don't know if I agree with that assessment. They actually are all breaking. Oh, these guys are... I mean, those guys are permanently broken. I guess I don't really need to do this. Giant's gonna walk out into the open here, and we are going to start shooting at him with the rifles. What do they still have left? What's still dangerous? Nothing. Never mind. They gave up. That should have been very winnable for them. Ah well. You know, the great triumph of good, and this here, of course, good is a point of view relative term. The great triumph of good here is that evil is dumb. We're good relative to chaos, sort of. Are we less evil? I don't actually even know if that maybe is not true. So how many more servants to chaos armies are left? Is it just 2? 2 that have not been horribly embarrassed? There's like that very, very small one that burned the port to the south. There's this very small one. There's still another full-size chaos army within movement range of this city. Like, we probably will still lose the city. Probably. I don't. Who knows? Maybe they'll freak out and just, like, charge Silostra. It does seem like bloodthirst runs high amongst these chaos guys. So yeah, they're too weak to really do anything anymore. Okay, no, here comes Highvald Festerheart. Well, I assume that the city is going to be in the same shape it was in, which means that we are even less likely to be able to hold these guys back. If there was no breach in the wall, honestly, we would have a shot here. But the fact that the Hell Cannons broke the wall means that the cavalry are going to just be able to pour through. This is a very cavalry-heavy army. Broadly, I think this is pretty bad for us. Like, this is an army that would do reasonably well against our normal army composition in an open field battle, because they have enough horses that we can't just shoot them all. But here with the walls and everything, it's a little non-ideal. Yep, so that's a problem. Definitely going to need the pole arms in front of that. We lost one of our, what do you call it? One of our mortars as well. That's unfortunate. The gates are still just as broken as they were. You are not the kind of vampire fleet captain that has a pole arm. That's a shame. Yeah, we have absolutely no chance of holding here. You guys should probably... I mean, that tower's going to be valuable, right? That tower is actually going to get to shoot. We have these two under control. It doesn't make any sense for us to have gunnery mobs in places where they can't fire. think I'm gonna do that. We really just like need like all of the attacks we can get here. And now they do not have any flying units or anything anymore, so we can ride out on this right away. Highvald Festerheart is going to get himself killed at the very beginning of the battle. I really appreciate just like serving as an example to the rest of them. Okay, well that should happen pretty quickly. So we're going to get rid of those. We're definitely going to lose overall here. There's way too many cavalry units. But we're going to get some good damage in on some of them. I really should have run some people over to here. I knew they were going to be walking this way. But we like literally did not have enough units to to block all the entrances. Just gotta try to get on an intercept course here. I don't think they're going for the city center. I think they're going straight for us. Alright, well. Show them what you can do. Make those pole arms do something.
What? Yes.
Ah, they're outside of tower range. Well, we should be able to knock them out. The other artillery crew's all the way dead. It happened remarkably quickly. Alright, yeah, we got him. Alright, that is all of the victory that we are going to be receiving. Yeah, I think that's about it. We might be able to bring down this giant. Some good focus here. I don't think we're going to be able to get the other giants. They're just in a very awkward place for our guns to access them. If we turn you around and have you fire down, we might be able to kill some more of this cavalry. Chaos Warriors are actually being held up for a remarkably long time by our terrible deckhands. I'm most surprised at how long it's taken them to figure this out. Okay, good. We're getting some fire down. They are not really in much of a hurry to capture the city. I get that. They're chaos. They're probably like rejoicing in the slaughter or whatever. There's not really a lot of good people for the bats to attack anymore. Are any of the giants particularly low? Not really. They could have like some units of spawn or something. Some real damaged chaos trolls here that might not be able to regen off all the damage. Turn these guys inward. Hopefully be able to get a couple more gunshots off. But yeah, the city is rapidly falling. Sirens lasted a remarkably long time. Come on, don't let them get away. You guys can finish them. Only 2 of them actually left in this this unit, and they are desperately trying to flee back through the wall. No, I'm gonna have these dudes get back up front for this. Also, how do they have control of this tower? I am the only person with units in the tower box. What? What? Okay, we got some good work done there. And they've taken the city center. They are very slowly depleting my victory points. I'm a little worried about stepping these guys off the wall because I'm afraid they will instantly die. But I suppose we gotta try to get a little bit more shooting done. How much can we get onto this Chaos Lord? I think that would be the really useful thing. I guess finishing off this unit of Chaos Warriors is also valuable. Okay, as soon as he had a target. Look, it was all a clever ruse. Now, fall in behind him and destroy him. Someone tells me this is not going to work. Alright, let's see if we can maybe split their attention. I mean, I'm definitely invested in getting as many kills on them here as we can, right? Oh no, my stronghold! Imminent danger. Who could have predicted this? See, we're doing that thing again, where they all run to do melee attacks, even though it doesn't make any sense for them to do so. Okay, we're getting some actual gunfire in. The units are holding remarkably strong. Still kind of a lot of trolls left in this unit. Never mind, there were kind of a lot of trolls left in this unit. Maybe I'm going to regret this, but if we can get maybe a little bit more gunpowder focused on the enemy. My big concern here is that these guys are going to get caught running across. Yep, which is absolutely happening. Okay, there goes the break, finally. You know, for an unaccompanied city garrison, those guys really did a number on those Chaos armies. So they're completely out of hell cannons now. And then all the rest of their units are all kind of terrible, sort of uniformly terrible garbage. So I'm not really worried about anything else going wrong. Hell cannon's the only thing they have that could threaten us. And with these units being reduced in size, I think we probably have gotten them down to low enough cavalry that we can kill them just with gunfire. Gunfire and Silostra would probably help. That said, though, that took long enough. That was like almost 25 minutes, just that enemy end turn sequence, and it's not actually over yet. So we're probably not going to do another one of our turns. Here, we'll probably end this as soon as it becomes our turn. I'm a little bummed out that we didn't manage to formally eliminate the Dark Elves this episode. Not that it matters much. It really is just a formality. They are absolutely dead with no hope of recovery. But I was hoping to get to see that little box. That little box that says faction eliminated. Seems like that storm cloud just produced several new Chaos armies that weren't there before. Yep, Poxmarsh Falls. No sense finding that. I guess we did have a deck dropper unit there, but there are so few of us in total. I figured probably the damage would be done. The army would be eliminated long before the deck droppers actually got to do their thing. Alright, so we have a bunch of pretty easy rebellions to put down. Way too many notifications. And this army has recruited all the way up to 20 units, but they're 20 extremely torn up units, and a lot of them are very low tier. Harpies are just terrible. So yeah, we'll put this down easily. I guess this will be Burke Black's job. This may also end up being Burke Black's job, just because there's a lot of running left to do in eliminating the last of the Dark Elves, or raiding our lands. Silostra and Two Toes Adley are in position to attack Chaos, but there are more Chaos dudes over here than I remember there being, so I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen here. We might lose one more city, maybe. We're very close to done, and I'm going to keep saying it every single episode until it turns out to be true. That's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time Apparently, there's still a little bit of slogging left to do. And we'll see you then.